Hi everyone, I'm Foxx, your host with the most fur, with another exciting video. Well, at least I hope it's somewhat exciting. Talking about the collector cycle, man. If you ever been watching YouTube as long as I have, and watching other YouTubers who do things like collection videos or nostalgia bait videos, and hey guys, I got a new game in my collection. I'm so close to my goal of some X amount of games, or sometimes they even try to collect entire series of things, the entire Nintendo Entertainment System collection, or the entire SNES, or the entire Xbox 360 or PlayStation 3 or whatever have you. Phoenix Resale used to do his uh what did he call it? GameCube Gambit, right? And um but I noticed a cycle and a pattern here of more specifically YouTubers that they take on, right? They get influenced by uh, YouTubers say, Metal Jesus, right? Everybody knows Metal Jesus, totally cool guy online. If you don't know who that is, look him up. He's got quite a collection. The collection most nerds would drool over having. More games than he'll ever play, I'm sure. But there's other kinds of, you know, uh, people in the game collecting world that they start out collecting what they love, right? And some people have gone over this. uh like Shout out to my friend over in Iowa Retro Gamer Dad. He's a guy who collected a lot. he 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 got addicted to the collecting bit, and wow, this is 2 years ago. That room looks very different now, huh? But yeah, he got to a point too where he collected so much that it was like, I don't feel the same way about it as I used to, etc. And I'm not calling him out in this video specifically, but there's different things. RGT sold his collection to Renix Resale, and I found that interesting. But I understand. We can't be all against somebody because they want to sell their collection that they're not getting fulfillment out of anymore. But I have noticed a pattern that once they start collecting all the games they want, in their collection, then they start looking for other games that they don't necessarily want, but fill out that gamer cred quota. Like, how much is too much, and when is it okay to sell your collection, right? And it's just, I don't know. I think I'll best approach it from how I proceed to collecting now, right? Myself. And why it helps me, okay? Some of my friends, even online here on the internet, have told me that you can't be a collector and a gamer at the same time. You're either collecting for the value of it, or you're a gamer and you don't care. But I don't think that's necessarily true. I think as a gamer, we want to be able to play games and own games that we knew and loved. And emulation is nice to revisit some of those old games, and sometimes even better quality of old titles. But like you can have a whole collection, the whole Nintendo library on an SD card. Don't at me, Nintendo. Okay, I'm just saying the facts. It's not hard to find, but and even a potato can run old Nintendo games. But that's not the point. I don't get nostalgia from a ROM file. But how I went about collecting, especially when I went to the PlayStation 3, is that I went to collect to curate. Okay. And I think that's different than how a lot of people approach it. Because people will approach this in different ways, but it seems like at first people want to collect to accumulate, find hidden gems that they didn't know existed, and then next you know you've got multiple copies of stuff, and you're growing in debt one day because there's always an event that always happens to where they have to sell their collections on this YouTube here, man. We've all seen it, right? I can't be like just tripping or, like not the only one who's seeing this. But like seriously, like it's like a grift that I'm seeing. They're buying into their nostalgia and they're getting all these views for their collecting, and then they're like, I gotta get this, I gotta get this and this and this still for my collection. And then you have people like Mort's Garage inspiring you in a way because he sought out to get the whole CIB North American N64 library for some reason. And then once he completed it, it's kind of like, well, yay, what next now, right? Like, I'm not saying that like Mort's Garage is empty inside for completing his collection. I'm sure he is very proud and stuff, and I'm sure he gets deals and stuff. But there's other collectors out there who would collect stuff like that and then turn around and sell it when stuff got heavy. And I think that's a weird way to go about collecting. Um, there's a lot of information available online of all kinds of games and top 10 lists, top 100 lists of games that you would love to try, from retro to modern to, there's a lot of opinion pieces out there telling you which games to buy and play. And it makes sense. And, it shouldn't be a mystery what games appeal to you. If a game appeals to you, buy it. You might regret it, but honestly, since I've been collecting to curate, buying games that I know absolutely that I want to buy in the first place and to own and know that I will like, 9 times out of 10, I've kept the game 100% and haven't regretted it. There have been a few bombs, especially around 2021, 2022, I'd say. Like Battlefield 2042, I felt that was a giant waste of money, especially at launch. Modern Warfare 2, the most recent one, which is Modern Warfare 2019, Part 2, by all accounts. And then Modern Warfare 3, I didn't buy into. Black Ops 6, I didn't buy into. And I won't buy into Black Ops 7. I might play it on that Game Pass, but that's about it, right? So, all in all, if you buy to curate, you won't have that problem, man. If you're always buying within your means, right? Like, my collection, as you guys have probably seen a lot of them. Hang on, I'll pull it up here. like I've done a sort of nearly every single video game that I own. So yeah. Okay, so check this out. I've done a lot of sorts of video games and video game related stuff that I own here. And it's a lot. And a lot of people are like, how can you afford that, man? And why do you have this game? Or, it's because it appeals to me, dang it. I saw the trailer and I'm like, I want that. Gaming is a hobby that I love, and I'm not hypercritical about a lot of games, man. That's why I don't typically do reviews. Um, I'm fully able to say why I love something or why I like something, but I'm not going to tell you like what I didn't like really, because I don't think about that stuff, man. I look for the fun in games. I don't really look for the flaws. And you know, I will never ever ever sell my game collection off. I rather sell anything, literally anything else of my whole collection. Like I mean of my whole life, man. I rather not, you know, ever sell off my games. And that's where I feel that I differ from a lot of these collectors who collect up a bunch of this crap and then, get into some kind of financial drama, which they have to announce online, like, oh, I'm missing some house payments or mortgage, or the views aren't coming in like they used to, and all that jazz. Some kind of excuse, like, you could probably pull out of the thousands of excuses why you should, like, pay DSP to like stream something. No, that he gives. My mortgage, you guys. Oh, sorry. Anyway, and like I said, I'm not calling out, my friends here, or Iowa Retro Gamer Dad. He's a cool dude too. I understand when you got to downsize or you don't find that appreciation anymore. But some people treat collecting as if it's just like, sealed cards or sealed comic books, where the only value is when they're in perfect condition or whatever. And we can blame resellers for, the increase in prices. But, it doesn't really affect us collectors, because us collectors are getting the best deals because we're the most patient and we have our eye always on, the market. If we get a deal, it's usually us trying to go out and find it. It's not a rocket scientist type of deal. Um, so I don't blame the hoarders either. I actually blame for higher game prices on idiot buyers, to be honest. If you all weren't paying scalper prices, scalpers would lower their prices. Right? If you weren't buying out there buying the PlayStation 5 for twice as much, if no one was, they would have drastically lowered the price back in, 2020, 2022, But anyway, before I babble on too long, I wanted to make the big point that, collecting to me is a gamer hobby. How I'm collecting might not be how you're collecting, and that's okay. But how I'm collecting is investing in my future. And I don't mean financially, I mean having fun. I want to be an old man, older than I am now, okay? Quit laughing, you guys. I want to be able to be an old man still playing the games that I love and own however I can, And my investment of the future is experience. It's not value, it's not worth. I collect to curate, I collect the game, and gaming is my ultimate favorite hobby. Like if you agree, like if you disagree. No, just kidding. And subscribe if you haven't already. And for those who are seeing me for the first time, I'm your older, balder Asmongold Foxx here signing out. And I will see you guys next time, all right? Peace.